Hey everybody, it's Kaylee. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I am doing a what sold video on all of the platforms that I'm currently selling on, mainly on eBay and Poshmark, but I did throw in Grailed because I did have a sale on Grailed last week. So if you're interested in seeing what sold last week for me on those platforms, then just stay tuned. All right, so I'm going to be showing you my sales from last week. That's February 16th through February 22nd. Now, I did want to say if you're a regular viewer of these videos of mine, you know that I typically average somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500 a week. And usually most of those sales come from eBay with a little help from Poshmark. So this week is completely different. My sales were a little bit down. I have been trying to cross-post all of my items onto Posh using List Perfectly, and I have over 1,000 items on Poshmark right now, hoping to catch up to my eBay store, which is a little over 1,700. But because I've been so focused on cross-posting all of those items, my efforts from eBay have kind of, to say the least, just not been full force. So I haven't done as much work on eBay as I should have last week, and it definitely shows. So I will show you some of my sales. I'm not going to show you all of them. Most of the time I'm showing you every single sale, but this week on both eBay and Poshmark, a lot of my older stuff has been selling, and most of them are at a very low cost just to get them out of my store. And while sometimes I think it is helpful to show you things that are duds not to pick up, I don't think that this video would be educational if I showed all of those to you today. So I'm going to show you a few highlighted sales from each platform. And I did have one sale on Grailed, so I'll show you that at the end of the video. Let's get started with eBay. So I will give you my total numbers on eBay. On eBay, I sold a total of 20 items, which is pretty low for me, for a gross sales total of $550.51. This made my average sale price $27.52, and then my total cost of goods for everything I sold on eBay last week was $51. So again, I'm just going to show you a few items that sold on eBay from last week. So I really wanted to highlight ones that maybe you come across and you don't think that they're worth anything because of the brand. So that's going to be the theme of these eBay items that I chose to highlight for you. So to start, this one is by American Eagle, which isn't a brand you probably think of going for more than $20 or $25. I really like to pick up their jeans, but occasionally if I see a nice, interesting sweater by them, I will pick it up. So this is a good example of that. This is a special line called Artisan Deluxe, which I had never seen before. It was made out of wool. It had a nice Fair Isle print to it. It was cowl. That's what this collar is called here, a cowl shawl kind of thing. And it's a button-up cardigan. So it had a lot of things going for it, which is why I chose to pick this up at the thrift store. I think I only paid $1 for this, and this sold for $35.99, which was a best offer. And I had this listed at $39.99, so the offer that they sent me was pretty reasonable. If you come across really interesting men's American Eagle sweaters like this, and they have a lot of key factors going for them, I'd say it's worth picking up. Next is by LL Bean. I love a lot of LL Bean items. A lot of them do very well, and I think it's a brand that a lot of people pass over. I picked this up at a thrift store for $4.50. I had it listed for $29.99, and it did sell at full price. What I look for in LL Bean shirts like this is that they are lined. This is kind of like a work chore jacket. And also this type where it's plaid could be considered a trucker style shirt, so I made sure to put that in the title. This is what I would call a shirt jacket, where it looks like a shirt, but it is a little bit heavier and it might be lined. These are good to pick up in LL Bean if you come across them at a good price. Again, this did sell at full price, $29.99, and it did sell pretty quickly. In the same line as a shirt jacket, this one is by Chico's, which Isn't a brand I recommend you pick up often. I usually only pick up Chico's if it seems to be a unique piece. So this is definitely an older Chico's tag, but as you can see, it is 100% leather. It's a size 3, which in Chico's world is a larger size. I want to say, I don't think it's a 3X, but I think it's like an extra large. Yeah, extra large is what I put in the title. But what drew me to this, besides the fact that it was perforated leather, was that it had some interesting Japanese writing all over it. So definitely a unique piece. The buttons were a dead giveaway that it was something more unique. Whenever something has ornate buttons and has a lot of time put into it, I'll usually look it up. I decided to price mine at $39.99. I picked it up for $4.99 at a thrift store, and it sold on a best offer of $35.99. If you come across something like this in Chico's, it's, you know, unique, interesting, or possibly made of leather, I would say definitely pick it up. Here's something I picked up recently just simply for the look of it. This style just drew my attention because, first of all, it's snakeskin. Second of all, they were in really great condition. They had a really interesting shape to them. They were mule heels, but as you can see, the cutout of them is pretty unique. All in all, I just thought that they were really cute and that this would draw buyers' attention even if they didn't sell for a lot. The brand was called Express, and they were, again, in really good condition. You can see it still has the sticker and hardly any wear on the bottom. I did market these as pre-owned just because I think they had been tried on a couple times just to cover my butt. I picked these up for $3.99 at a thrift store. I figured they would sell for about $25, so I had it listed at $25, but I did send out offers to watchers, and they sold for $22.50, which is an offer that a watcher accepted, and they did not sit for long at all. This is another kind of like no-name brand. It's by 32 Degrees. Their stuff, even brand new, doesn't sell for a whole lot. But I picked this up because it was a packable down puffer jacket, which if you watch any of my haul videos, you know that I'm looking to pick those up often. They're easy to store because they fold down just basically like a regular shirt. A lot of people like these because they keep you very warm, but they're super lightweight and they're not hanging off your body all the time. I only paid $2.99 for this at a thrift store. I can usually sell, no matter what the brand is, packable down puffer jackets for about $25 to $30 if it is a no-name brand, which I would consider this a no-name brand. So I picked it up, listed it for $25, and I sent out offers to watchers. It sold for $22.50. So keep an eye out for packable down puffer jackets, even if they are a no-name brand. Just make sure to do your comps and make sure that they have a decent enough sell-through rate. And last item I'm going to show you on eBay is another LL Bean item. This one is not lined, but it is a thick flannel shirt. And this one was called the Northwoods flannel, and this was on the tag. So you can kind of see that it is in like pretty great condition, but definitely not excellent. It had a little bit of wear to it from the age of it. If you come across the LL Bean Northwoods cotton flannels, I would say definitely pick them up if you're getting them at a cheap cost. I paid only $2.50 for this at a thrift store. I had it listed for $28 and it did sell at full price. Now, one thing I do want to say is when you are marketing these items, whether it's this LL Bean Northwood flannel or it's another thick flannel shirt, make sure to put chore, barn, work in your title, whatever you can fit in there, because when I market these types of items like that, I find that they fly off the shelf because this seems to be what people are searching when they're looking for this kind of item. Okay, moving on to Poshmark. Poshmark has been going nuts, and it still is even today. Today is Sunday, and I'm still having quite a bit of sales on there. Now, as I mentioned in the video at the beginning, these are mainly my older, lower price items. I just decided to start cross-listing them onto Poshmark to see if I could get them to move. Some of them I actually listed at like $5 higher, and they're selling for that. So I'm pretty surprised, and I'm happy to be moving the inventory. But all in all, you know, sales are just down for me this week. eBay being at $5.50 was really low for me. But Posh carried me. So on Poshmark, I sold a total of 24 items last week for a gross sales total of $566. This made my average sale price $23.58, which again is pretty low for me. And then my total cost of goods for everything on Poshmark was $96.08. Same with eBay. I'm just going to show you a couple of highlights. So the first one I wanted to show you is this Beta brand. Now, if this looks familiar, it's because it has sold in the past and been returned just because the buyer didn't like it. This one's not getting returned because I did get positive feedback on it on Poshmark, so I will not be getting a return on this anymore. But I did want to show you in case you are getting returns and you're afraid to relist the items. Make sure that you do, maybe even add a few dollars to the price to recoup your money for shipping. In my case on eBay, the buyer paid return shipping, so I didn't have to worry about it. So this sold very quickly on Poshmark after relisting it. And I did want to show you this brand. So this is called Beta brand. And you can see that this item is very worn. There's a lot of pilling. And even still, it sold for $40. I picked this up at a thrift store for $4.29, I believe. It's been a while. And this is the stock photo of it. So it wraps around. It's like a travel wrap hoodie sweater, I guess. But what's important is the brand. So this is called Beta brand, and this is what their logo looks like. So it almost looks like an upside down butterfly to me. That's how I remember it, but it's two bees together. If you come across Beta brand and you're getting it at a low cost, even if it's in a little bit of a rough condition, I would say definitely pick it up. I sell Beta brand very quickly. It never lasts long. Even in this condition, you're still looking at $40 to $50 for an item like this. So I did want to highlight that again for you. This was a good sale on Poshmark. This is a men's vintage Levi's trucker jacket. In general, trucker jackets, no matter what the brand are really popular right now. This one just happened to be vintage Levi's. You can see in this picture there's a little bit of a stain, which I did have to show. Even with that, it sold for $65. I picked this jacket up for $6.50 at a thrift store. You can see the older tag here. But yeah, if you come across jackets in this style, I'd say they're definitely worth at least comping. Typically, I'm getting about $50-$60 for trucker jackets if they're a name brand. This one went for a little bit more because it was Levi's. These are a pair of Barney's New York sandals that I picked up at the bins. I probably paid like $1.50 roughly for these. I picked them up just because of their style. They're like braided solid leather sandals. I just thought that they were, going to be good for summer or spring. I really like the style. They were made out of leather. They were also by a brand called Co-op, which is by Barney's New York. So these probably retailed for a lot more than what I got for them, but the resale value on these isn't very high. I think I had them listed at like $39, $40, something like that. I'd been getting some pretty low offers. Finally, I got an offer for $30, which I thought was reasonable, and I went ahead and accepted. These are a pair of vintage Nike sandals. Whenever I come across Nike hiking sandals, I always pick them up, even if they've got a little bit of wear on them. Now, obviously, I wouldn't pick them up if they were split in half or had cracking, but these just had cosmetic wear on them, and they were ACG sandals, which is a great sign as well. So as I said, you can see they're a little bit worn. These were a men's size 11. I picked these up, I think, for $4.99 at a thrift store. I always get a ton of interest on these, so definitely pick them up if you come across them, even if you're paying $5. I got an offer for $30 and I went ahead and accepted to get these guys moving, but I think that that's a pretty quick flip if you come across these. Last item on Poshmark I'm going to show you are these Merrell men's chukka boots. So this toe right here where you see that it's like darker, it's supposed to be like that. And it's actually a style I'm seeing a lot of shoe companies do right now. So if you come across this, it might be worth looking up. Don't automatically assume that it's a flaw. Obviously, these had a little bit of wear. Even with that, still, they were made out of great material. They were leather. These soles look pretty decent. The insides look pretty good. They're by Merrell. On the inside of Merrell's, they always have I don't think I have a picture of the tag, but right on the inside of the tongue, they almost always have the style name. So I always make sure to do comps with that style name before I decide to pick them up, check the sell-through rate, and then if I do choose to pick them up, I make sure to put it in the title. So these were called the Leather Realm ankle chukka boots. So these were doing pretty well, and I just knew by looking at them that they would be a good flip. Paid $4.99 at a thrift store. I think I have them listed for like $45 or $50. I got an offer for $40 and they sold. All right, and then I did tell you I would show you my Grailed sale. So I had another Grailed sale. I said in my video where I was talking about cross-listing and where I'd sold items on last week, said I wasn't really sure about Grailed. I'm starting to see more activity on there, so I don't know. They may have changed my mind, but I cross-listed these APC jeans. Don't ask me what APC stands for because I'm not really sure, but I did notice that this was a brand that was popular on Grailed. So I went ahead and listed it, and I think I even raised my price a little bit just to accommodate for it. And I got an offer for $58. Now I'm learning that that does include shipping. So when a buyer sends you an offer on Grailed, that does include shipping. So they sold for $58 and that's shipping included. It cost me a little less than $8 to ship these. So sale for the item was about $50. I picked these up at a thrift store for $2.99. If you come across APC jeans, this is a new brand I just learned about. I'd say definitely look up the style name with the brand because they seem to be worth quite a bit of money depending on the style. And here is the tag. Okay guys, so that brings us to the totals for last week. So with all three of those platforms combined, I sold a total of 45 items. This made my gross sales total $1,174.51. My total cost of goods for all of those items was $150.07. And then altogether, my average sale price between all of those items was $26.10, which again is very, very low for me, but this week was just really focused on maintenance and moving items over to Poshmark because I really want to have those multiple streams of income. Once I get everything cross-listed onto Poshmark, I will start to ramp up eBay again and then only focus on targeting cross-listing to certain platforms. All right, guys, that is it for what sold last week. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Let me know how your sales are down below. My sales were a little rocky this week, but I am hopeful that they will pick up as I start to focus my efforts back onto eBay. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video.